Now time to move forward, look forward to tomorrow and focus on this massive game at Stamford Bridge, people. We're going to get into our predicted lineup first and foremost. So, what is the team news, Sim?
The team news is Solanke is still out, so the rumours he was going to make it for this game, but he's going to be unavailable. Romero back in individual training, but he's not going to make it. Vicario, though, he is available for this one, so whether you think that's good news or not, he's available. And who was the other one? Maddison just felt something slight, De Zerbi said, after the game against Leeds, but sounds like he still should be on the bench and maybe hopefully getting some minutes. I mean, on screen you can still see the long-term injuries: Simmons, Odegaard, Davis, Kudus, Kulusevski, which no one's even asking about Kulusevski anymore. They're obviously still out. But
no one's asking about Davis either.
Yeah, Davis, yeah. So we'll have to see what happens with them. But yeah, I mean, not the best news going into this one.
Yeah. But it's a big opportunity for Spurs this weekend, or this week, this Tuesday night. We can get the job done. All this conversation about staying up, going down, could be ended on Tuesday night. So we have the chance to relegate West Ham. We've got a chance to save ourselves. So let's get into this predicted lineup. 4-2-3-1 as per usual. As you say, Vicario is back and in contention. But judging by De Zerbi's comments, judging by the way I feel about the situation, I think Kinski starts.
I think he starts as well. I think I think it will be Kinski in goal. 1 second. Yeah. I think it will be Kinski in goal. I think he deserves this place. There's no reason to drop him, in my opinion. And I think given what De Zerbi's saying, like, yes, Vicario is number one, but why does it keep changing? Sorry. Vicario is number one, but he said we have to think about his physical, whatever, his physical condition and all this kind of stuff. I think judging by that, it sounds like he's readying to maybe let Vicario down a bit and basically tell him, look, you are number one, but you're not ready to play, and Kinski deserves a spot at the end of the day. After his performance against Leeds, you can't leave him out, surely. He was so good, so vital. I think it would send the wrong message out for me.
Completely agree.
I think Kinski has to play.
Yeah. Completely agree. I think, look, like I said before, I do feel if we get the job done here at Stamford Bridge, I think Vicario does play the last game. However, if it leaves it till the last day and we need that win, we need that point going into the game against Everton, I think Kinski retains his spot. So we'll have to see what we do on Tuesday night. Right back, obviously Pedro Porro. I think Pedro has been fantastic over these last couple of games. Really a warrior-like mentality. I think defensively he's been spot on. So yeah, I can't praise Pedro Porro enough the last couple of games.
Yeah, and I think you've seen him operate in a lot more central areas as well under De Zerbi. I think that really suits him. So I think De Zerbi's doing a really good job with him. I think he suits De Zerbi football so much. And I think when you cast your mind back to how he was under Frank, I don't think he was great under Frank. A lot of people were complaining about him, says he needed to be sold. I've always maintained this guy is a top quality right back.
Frank said he's our only world-class player.
Yeah, he did. Well, that was rumoured, wasn't it? That's what he thought. I don't think he got the best out of him, and I think De Zerbi's already showing what he's capable of, and I think, as you say, he's done a really good job. So yeah, he's obviously going to start. Yeah,
I just love how he affects us in build-up, particularly under De Zerbi, the way he comes into the midfield and Paulinho drops the right back. I think it's a bit of a masterstroke from De Zerbi, the way he's managing that situation. But yeah, Pedro Porro right back, right centre back, Kevin Danso. Look, I think he's done well. He's done well since stepping in for Romero. Obviously, if he doesn't make that mistake at the end of the Brighton game, we're probably safe by now.
Yeah.
But we are in this situation. He is playing well, and he's going to be vital.
Yeah, and hopefully he continues as we mean to go on. He's already said, De Zerbi, hasn't he, that he wants Danso here next season, which I think is quite interesting. But look, he's performed admirably. He's come in a difficult time and stepped up by and large. So fair play to him. And yeah, he's definitely going to start in this one, I think.
Left centre-back will be Mickey van der Ven, captain on the day. He's just flipped 360, hasn't he? Or 180,
yeah.
180, I would say. He's flipped 180 since De Zerbi's come in. You really see the passion for the badge again. You really see he's playing for the manager. You can see the love he shows at the end of the games towards De Zerbi. So if we do stay up, I think he's going to stay.
Yeah, there's already talk of that, which is would have been fanciful a few weeks ago, thinking about Van der Ven staying, but now all of a sudden it looks like there's a good chance of it. So he's been brilliant. I think if we're going to get anything out of this game, he's going to have to be at his best. So yeah, I think he's back. He is back to his best. That's what it looks like at the moment, which is great.
And then to make up that back four, I think Destiny Udogie at left back. I think he started the last 2 games now, Dest, and yeah, I wouldn't say he's been playing at his best the last 2 games, but definitely adds more than what Jed Spence has at left back.
I think he just helps the balance of the team. It's not even necessarily him. It's just what his presence helps the dynamic, and that just stretches the pitch more. We get down round the outside a bit more, and I think we look better going forward down the left when he's in the team. So I think he does make a big difference. Hopefully next season he gets some support. But yeah, I'm likely to be up against Cole Palmer in this one, which is a interesting kind of matchup because
he will eat him up for dinner.
Well, if Palmer tries to beat him for pace, he will. But Palmer's not that kind of player who tries to beat players for pace. So he's gonna have to play against him a bit differently than he usually
Palmer
does.
Will come on the inside, and then Mickey Van der Ven will eat him for dinner. But anyway, that's the back four. Into the midfield, I think on the right-hand side of the double pivot will be João Palhinha.
Yeah, I think didn't have his best game against Leeds. I thought much better against Villa. But I just think those intangibles right now, probably, we just need that grit, determination. And we need someone who's going to just dominate physically in that middle. So he says he's talking about how much he loves him. So I do think he's going to retain his place, yeah.
And alongside him will be Rodrigo Bentancur. I mean, he's been a real difference since coming back in off his injury. He's been fantastic. I thought against Leeds, he was head and shoulders our best player in the first half, and then he tired a bit in the second. And I think if you have these players, if you have João Palhinha and you have Bentancur at their physical best, I think they will dominate that midfield. And it's not because they're better players than what Chelsea have. I just think they're going to have that bit more energy than what those Chelsea midfielders have off the back of the FA Cup final.
Yeah, I think you saw in the FA Cup final, Caicedo went down with a niggle, and Enzo as well. I think you look at the likely 3 Chelsea are going to play, probably if they go first choice, it's going to be Enzo, Caicedo, and maybe Santos. That's what Lewis was saying. So you look at that, obviously Caicedo, when he's at his physical best, he can run like 2 players, but I think Enzo struggles sometimes physically, and Andre Santos I'm not 100% convinced about. So I think there is a chance for us to, if we press them and really just press how we did maybe a Villa away, and even at times against Leeds, they might struggle. They might struggle.
And then in the number 10, it's going to be a return to Stamford Bridge for Conor Gallagher. It's going to be interesting to see the dynamic here with Conor Gallagher, because cast your mind back a couple of years back, we went to Stamford Bridge and they had this whole tifo that said Chelsea from birth. They loved him. We were walking through the streets of Chelsea. All you can hear filtering out the Chelsea pubs were songs about Conor Gallagher. Absolutely adored him, a Cobham lad and a Chelsea fan. But he is coming back to Stamford Bridge in a Spurs shirt. So it's going to be interesting to see. He could be like the pantomime villain of the day.
Yeah, what were the quotes De Zerbi spoke? He said, from Conor, I expect the same performance. He's been doing great play, great personality. He doesn't speak too much, but he speaks on the pitch with his work and his personality. So that is what he had to say about Gallagher returning to the Bridge. Obviously, I think he's been a lot better since De Zerbi's come in. And I think his energy is going to be so important in this game. If we can if we can beat Chelsea for intensity and energy, I think Gallagher is going to be a major part of that. Let's hope we find a little bit of quality in the final third like we did against Villa as well. Didn't see too much of that against Leeds, but I think he's going to be a very big player in this game. I wonder if his every touch is going to be booed or not.
I think it will be.
Probably will be, yeah.
I think it will be, and I think that the Spurs fans will be singing Conor Gallagher chants throughout the game as well. I think it's going to be...
Need to come up with one.
Well, Conor Gallagher.
There you go.
That's what's going to
get that going.
It's already been going. But I think if he scores, we were speaking to Lewis on the opposition preview, will he celebrate? It's going to be an interesting one. What if he scores like a last-minute winner to keep Spurs up? Or a last-minute equaliser to keep Spurs up? Is he not going to celebrate that?
Surely he celebrates that. You can't let an iconic moment like that go to waste. I know, maybe not. I think he's not planning to celebrate, I reckon.
But yeah, this is the first time he plays against Chelsea since leaving, isn't it?
It is. Don't remember him for Atletico playing against them, yeah.
So that's the midfield 3. On the right-hand side of the attack, I assume Randall Kolo Muani is going to keep his spot.
Yeah, and we're not blessed with options, are we?
Yeah.
So... Didn't have a great game against Leeds. Was a bit better against Villa. I think this game, in theory, might suit him a bit more than the Leeds game. But look, 2 more games of Mwani. Let's just suffer through it. Is what it is.
Left-hand side of the attack, Matisse Tell. Some high words, some big words from De Zerbi on Matisse Tell in the press conference, saying, you know, he's got a great mentality on him and he's going to be a big player for us in the future. But look, you saw the best and the worst from Matisse Tell last game against Leeds. Stunning goal, horrific mistake. Let's hope he can do the former rather than the latter in this game.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting what he said. He said he's a very mature guy, maybe more so outside the pitch than he is on it, because he hasn't played that many games, maybe referencing some rash decisions he's made, obviously with the penalty, but also, you know, crossing the ball. So yeah, look, he has that, he does that, and then he also has the quality to score at top bins from 25 yards. So unfortunately, when a player's that age, that's sometimes what you got to put up with, you know, as a player's learning their craft. I think there's good quality there. Hopefully he'll take the confidence of that goal he scored and not let the penalty affect him, because we know there's quality in those legs. So hopefully he takes it into this game and he could be the difference maker.
Yeah, he's had to suffer a lot of setbacks this season, hasn't he? From being left out the Champions League squad,
yeah,
to come back in it, then left out again, and then, you know what I mean? It's just like been an up and down season for him. But I think whenever he's on the pitch, you can see a player that is trying a 1,000,000%. You know, so I credit him for that. And up front, I think it'll be Richarlison again. Obviously, Solanke, De Zerbi confirmed that Solanke ain't ready for this game, so it's got to be Richarlison.
Yeah. Who's working his socks off. The only worry I have for him is if he hasn't really done anything before like the hour mark, then that's pretty much him done, which has been the case. So it's a shame we don't have Solanke to come on and help things. We don't have any other striker to come on and help things.
There is a little part of me that actually thinks Solanke's going to be on the bench.
You think he's just playing mind games?
I think he might be.
I hope so. I hope you're right. That would be great. And let's just hope Rishi can just do something. I think he's been doing all right since Zerbi's come in. He's making impact, and I think he's pressing. He's working his absolute socks off. But it's just hard for him when he has to play 90 minutes, such intensity, and he's already physically, you know, not his best anymore. So it's not been easy. But I think he's been putting his all, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
And Richarlison, didn't he for Everton against Chelsea when that run-in scored the winner?
He did, yeah.
So relegation Richarlison against Chelsea.
Let's do it. So this is the lineup that we're going for. Kinski in goal, Pedro Porro right back, Destiny Udogie left back, a back two of Danso and Mickey van der Ven, João Palhinha, Rodrigo Bentancur and Conor Gallagher in the midfield, Mwani on the right, Ted on the left, Richarlison up top. We could have just saved you all about 15 minutes and just said unchanged from last week and the week before.
That's not how we do things.
But that is your predicted lineup. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you disagree, let us know who you think De Zerbi is going to go for in this massive game against Chelsea. Look, let's just